So there was an amazing man that worked at Caron for over 3 decades by the name of Father Bill, William Holtberg, mostly known as Father Bill. And one of the amazing things about Father Bill is that he would see a need for people that were hurting, not just from addiction, but from other things as well. And he would find a way to help those people, which is how Caron started reaching out to the LGBTQIA+ community. So Father Bill saw a need at the height of the AIDS epidemic back in the mid-1980s that there were people struggling with HIV and AIDS, dying of AIDS, and they were in recovery, but didn't have a safe place to come together and to support and love each other. So Caron, with the help of Father Bill, started HIV retreats in the mid-1980s. And what they were was, they were 3 times a year. These people would come together here at Caron on the weekend, and they would come in on a Friday and stay till Sunday, and it was workshops and just love and support with each other, which is what recovery is all about. So Father Bill created a safe place here at Caron back in the 80s. So that's how my journey to Caron began. So I rolled into treatment in 1995, in August of 1995, not at Caron. I had never heard of Caron. And I was about 3 months sober, and my first sponsor, who is a Caron alum, told me we are going to an HIV retreat at Caron. I was terrified and scared. I tested positive in 1991, which was a death sentence. I'd never looked at or talked about my HIV status until I got sober. So here I am 3 months sober and rolled to Caron with my sponsor. And I remember sitting on the steps of the Catherine Caron building, the villa on top of the hill, and I met Father Bill for the first time. And our first interaction wasn't that great because I had a little bit of anger towards organized religion, but he told me just enjoy the weekend, it's a safe place. And I kind of had this moment at 3 months sober. So I'm sitting Friday evening in the lounge, and there must have been 30 or 40 people from all different parts, So from New York, from Philadelphia, from Berks County, from Allentown. And these were all people who were living with HIV, dying of AIDS, but they were all sober and all kind of came together. And I had this, I get a little choked up. I had this moment where for the first time in my life, I felt a part of, right? I found other people just like me, and I'd been searching for that my whole life. So I had that little bit of hope with the help of Father Bill in these retreats that, wow, if these people can stay sober and live with HIV, I can do the same thing as well. And so these retreats at Caron were the cornerstone of my early journey into recovery. So I would come to these retreats 3 or 4 times a year. And during this time, I became really good friends with Father Bill. And he convinced me many years later to come and work here. So I landed at Caron in 2004, starting off working as a tech, being with patients. And the retreats were still taking place, and one of the gifts of coming to work here at Caron was Father Bill handed the retreats to me. So I got to take over these HIV retreats. And over the course of time, the retreats changed because the world of HIV had drastically changed. New medication, a lot more hope, and so we changed them to LGBTQIA+ retreats, which we still have today. Father Bill passed away in 2019, but he was always a part of these retreats, and his legacy still lives on today, which is having people from the LGBTQ community in recovery come together 2 or 3 times a year to have a safe place to just to be able to talk and support each other.